If the Vice President and the Cabinet do not act, the Congress may be prepared to move forward with impeachment.
The Gateway pundit quoted an aide who said, "A laptop was stolen from the office of U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi during the storming of the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday," one of her aides said on Friday.
Well, because on Wednesday, they took Pelosi's laptop. She's frantic.
The military took all of the laptops from Congress, then they left the premises. They were messaging the CCP, Antifa, and fake news. It goes on to say that the whole thing was a sting operation. Now, I generally don't waste my time with stuff like this until it can be backed up or at least tied into something tangible. Look at this from the New York Post. The Trump-supporting rioters who broke into the Capitol building during Wednesday's deadly insurrection swiped laptops from the offices of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senator Jeff Merkley, among other electronics, it was revealed Friday. So this began to surface today, Friday. It doesn't mean the two are related. However, this is the kind of link that I can use to at least talk about this stuff.
And you see Pelosi, you see Schumer. Ann just told me that Pelosi called the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Milley, and they're trying to get him out on the 25th Amendment or to impeach him. Why?
I joined the Senate Democratic leader in calling on the Vice President to remove this president by immediately invoking the 25th Amendment. If the Vice President and the Cabinet do not act, the Congress may be prepared to move forward with impeachment. That is the overwhelming sentiment of my caucus.
Well, because on Wednesday, they took Pelosi's laptop. She's frantic. There were some people in there that were special forces mixed with Antifa, and they took her laptop and they had that data. Did you see yesterday that an email went around telling everybody about the emergency broadcast system? So there are those little signals that you see. We're not that naive anymore.
Blaze TV reporter Elijah Schaefer was apparently in the mix and reporting what was going on inside the Capitol building. He tweeted this: "Breaking, I am in Nancy Pelosi's office with the thousands of revolutionaries who have stormed the building. To put into perspective how quickly staff evacuated, emails are still on the screen alongside a federal alert." The Gateway pundit quoted an aide who said, "A laptop was stolen from the office of U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi during the storming of the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday," one of her aides said on Friday.
An aide to Pelosi confirmed Friday that a laptop was stolen from the Speaker's office, saying it belonged to a conference room and was used for presentations, but did not elaborate further on what information it may contain. At least one other computer was stolen, a laptop belonging to the office of the Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley, of Oregon. The acting U.S. Attorney, Michael Sherwin, said that some of the thefts might have potentially jeopardized what he described as national security equities.
Where the officers themselves opened the gates and waved people in and allowed them to come in. What that was about, whose direction that was, who ordered that to be, I don't know, but I'm confident that's going to be a major part of this investigation. Then you're going to have another part that involves the breach of the internal parts of the Capitol building. One of the parts where the young woman was shot and killed by, I assume, the Capitol Police. These are things that will come out of the investigation. I think it's too early to determine.
Staffers were quickly forced to shelter in place, leaving many devices vulnerable to the attackers. Photos posted by rioters from inside the Capitol showed exposed computers, including one in Pelosi's office with an email inbox in full view. The impact of such a device being taken could be grave, said Brandon Hoffman, the Chief Information Security Officer at IT security provider NetEnrich. Regardless of how much they want to downplay this, the laptop has to have at least access that could be leveraged, he said. It's highly unlikely that this laptop was sitting there with no files, or file access, or any other useful information to somebody looking for leverage or retribution.
The strange thing about this, John, is they just didn't, let them in. If you watch some of the videos online, they actually waved them in.
Yeah.
They actually said, come on. They opened the gates and waved them in and directed them into parts of the Capitol. Like I said, I have no idea what that was. I don't know where the supervisors were. But
Yeah.
I can't explain. Watching it as an outsider, I definitely can't explain it. I can't even come close.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to start a conspiracy theory. You have to wonder if they were really even police officers.
Now, another narrative, just as deep in the rabbit hole, is this was planned by the military, as suggested by some deep web conspiracy theorists, and basically they used the chaos to snatch the records and the laptops. The bottom line, something does not add up. The police did let the mob just walk right in, and they let them stay in the building for an unusual long period of time. Plenty of bizarre photo ops and some suspicious characters throughout. Now remember, this is not a movie plot, folks.
One of the parts where the young woman, was shot and killed by, I assume, the Capitol Police. These are things that will come out of the investigation. I think it's too early to determine. I don't want to speculate,
Right.
but I have to tell you, based on what I've seen, there was a lack of security, a lack of leadership, a lack of command structure, and they just were not prepared, for whatever was to come. And I want to stress this for a second, John. I was at the rally, and I went back to my hotel after the rally, but I can tell you there were close to 1 million people on the mall between where the president spoke and the Washington Monument, beyond the monument, and that demonstrates that area was completely peaceful. Whatever happened down at the Capitol, and I anticipate you're going to see a lot of instigators and anarchists for Black Lives Matter and
the reprehensible acts yesterday were incited by the President of the United States. Yesterday's events would not have happened without him. If there were no President Trump, this would not have happened, plain and simple. The fish stinks from the head, plain and simple.
But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt.